Welcome guys, welcome in today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment. Please let's share, like and comment. In today's video, we are discussing on the types of drugs or what you should have in your farm as a kit for first aid kit, let's say first aid kit, or types of drugs that you should be having in your farm for you to reduce the cost of production. Mostly in cases of emergency, you should be having some drugs or some equipments that will guide you or will reduce the expense of calling a doctor to your farm. So we have a sample of the drugs or a sample of the tools and equipments that you should be having in your farm as soon as possible, or the one that they can act as emergency drugs or tools during any case in your farm, be it in dairy farming or feedlot farming or veal production. You should be having some drugs that you are going to use to reduce some costs of calling the doctor to your farm. Sometimes you find the doctors are very far, they can't reach to your farm on time, so you should have some of the drugs that can help you to, let's say, like painkillers before the doctor arrives in your farm. So I'm going to discuss a few of the drugs that you should be having in your farm before the arrival of the doctor, or you can just use the drugs to treat some of the practices or some of the diseases, some of the conditions. So I'm going to share with you some of the drugs that you should be having in your farm for you to reduce the cost of production. First of all, let's say now you have bring your animals from the market, from other ranches to your farm. You need to have what? The acaricide. This is the chemical that usually control external parasites. So you should be having an acaricide, be it of any origin, be it any type, that is, be it dual dip, be it delete. We have some we call vector, vector plus. So here I have a sample of the acaricides that we use. Like this one here, the one I'm holding in the hand. This we call it Vector plus. This is an acaricide that is used to control external parasite. This controls a number of external parasites. That is they say acaricide and repellent for the control of ticks, mange, mites, flies, lice, and tetherfly. So these vector vector plus, it is a good one because it controls a variety of external parasites. So these are an acaricide that you spray your animals during arrival, or when there is some ticks or new animals when they arrive in your shamba, or in your farm, you should use these types of acaricide. So this is one of them. We call it a Vector plus. We have another acaricide, that is this one here. This one is a duodip. Duodip is an acaricide, also a good acaricide that do very well. Yeah, it's a kind of an acaricide chemical that we use to spray like external parasites, be it ticks, flies, mange, mites. These are duodip is a good acaricide. So when we talk about these two acaricides, that is Vector plus and duodip, we have some varieties also. We have the one we call delete, is another acaricide that we usually use. And another thing that you need to do mostly on this type of the acaricides, we need to control what we call the build-up okay, there's a term we use where you find that the animals, the ticks, they become resistant on certain type of chemical. So the best thing you should do, once you spray let's say you are using Vectocloplus, use this drug for a period of, let's say you have sprayed this drug for 5 months. After 5 months of using this Vectocloplus, you can use now Duodip. Again, you spray with Duodip for a period of another 5 months. From Duodip, again, now you spray with Delete. Again, for another 5 months. So keep on rotating with the different types of acaricides for better results. Still under these acaricides, there is the how you should dilute this chemical per spray, because mostly they advise, they say 1 ml per liter. So based on the spray you have, there are 16-liter spray, 20-liter spray. So mixing the acaricide is another thing that you need to have to be very keen. So you have what the tools. These are these are equipment that has the calibrations, that has the mls, that is milliliter. We use this one to measure the quantity of the drugs, the time of dilution. So upon buying the acaricide, the drug, you should have this type of the calibrated tool that will help you to measure the exact amount of drug to use in each and every pump or spraying, that is the knapsack spray. Still under these chemicals, it is not advisable for you to mix. Let's say you have all the three, you have the Vectocloplus, you have Duodip, you have Delete. You can't mix these three acaricides in one pump or in one knapsack spray and spray your animal. Because remember, each drug has a different chemical formula. So when you mix these drugs to form your own acaricide, that is a mixture of these three or these two, you will end up harming the animal. The skin of the animal will end up harming it. And also when you over mix or you increase the concentration of the drug in per liter, assuming you put 2 ml per liter, you also interfere with the skin of the animal. So stick to the description based on the each and every chemical you are giving or you are spraying your animal. So taking the correct milliliter and mixing with the correct amount of water is another thing that is good during the spraying of your animal. Be it you are using deep spray, sprayless, or just manual with the knapsack sprayer. So make sure you do the best with these types of acaricides. Still there, you have to dress very well, be in gumboots, overall, mask, even possible you can have gloves, because these chemicals are health hazards to human beings. So make sure you wear properly during administration of this or spraying of these chemicals. Okay. So next thing, we have the internal parasites. Most cases, you have drugs. You can either deworm your animal with that is orally. We have tablets. We have liquid drug that we give orally. Then we have injectable drugs for internal parasites. So for the case here, we usually use both injectable and for drench. For the case of the injectable, we have this one here. I don't know if you can read that one. This is an ivermectin, 1% ivermectin. For you to use this ivermectin, make sure your animal is weighed. You have the weight of your animal before administering this ivermectin. These are drug injected in the animal body to control internal parasite. So before administering this drug, make sure you have the correct weight of that bull, that female, that sheep, that goat, that livestock. Make sure you have the correct weight of it and follow the dosage this drug during administration. If you're not keen with the weight, don't try to inject this ivermectin drug to your animal. You will alter with the normal function of the body and the animal can die. So this ivermectin is good for internal parasites, but under caution. If you know the correct weight of your animal, you can use this ivermectin. It's an injectable drug that controls a variety of parasites, and is good for both camel, cattle, sheep, goat, and pig. This one, and everything is then on top the how to administer and the dosage per kg of the animal. These are best. These are effective. So, caution: make sure you have the weight of your animal before administering this drug. Let's go to the now. This one is I don't know if you can see, but I will say the name. These are Force One Plus. Force One Plus. These are you call it the vermizole. This one is a deworming drug given orally, either with a drenching gun or with this type of syringe. This syringe carries 100 ml. So this one can help you to administer these oral drugs if you don't have the drenching gun. You can buy this big syringe that carries 100 ml. Will help you to administer these liquid drugs. That is oral for deworming. This drug, we have different types of drugs we use for the internal parasite. That is the oral one now. This is for Son Plus. We have albendazole of different concentrations. We have albendazole 2.5%, 5%, 10% albendazole. This one is 1.5%. This one is also a good one. This is for One Plus. Does very, very well in both livestock. Yeah. Another thing that I had forgotten to say, on this Force One Plus, or the drug we administer orally for deworming, that is either albendazole, this Force One Plus, we have other varieties. Apart from sorry, apart from checking the dosage, another thing you should do about these drugs, there is a duration of withdrawal duration, that is called withdrawal period. Each drug has different withdrawal period. So for this Force One Plus, the withdrawal period for meat is 24 hours after giving the drug. So if you give an animal this Force One Plus, you will wait for 24 hours before that animal can be slaughtered or the meat of that animal can be consumed. For milk, it is 14 days. Once you administer, for milk, it's 24 hours. Yeah, milk is 24 hours. Meat is 14 days. Remember, it's internally, so the drug will be absorbed into the blood vein. So some depots of the drug will be in the meat. So for the meat, it's 14 days. For the milk, 24 hours. So make sure you follow that once to avoid what we call drug resistance also in human beings. So make sure you follow this one. Milk, 24 hours. Meat, 14 days. And for this ivermectin, the injectable one, they have also a withdrawal period based on the composition. Let me check for you the withdrawal period of these ones. It isn't indicated, but mostly these drugs, they have a longer period of withdrawal period, these injectables ones. But make sure you check the can very well. Yeah, it is here. Withdrawal periods, meat 28 days. You see, this ivermectin one, milk, it will take you 28. Meat 28 days before you can slaughter that animal. So for those who use this one, you can use them if you are in the field of farming. First day of bringing your animal to a farm, you can use ivermectin. Then in between when animals are in the farm, now you can use this for the drenching ones. because this only take 14 days. Same as albendazole, it also take 14 days. We have other varieties also for the dewormers. We have finished up talking about dewormers. Same thing, we are still talking, we're going to talk about your animal have come to a farm. You need to have a water bath. That is where the animals will pass in the water. And the water, you should mix the water with what we call copper sulfate. This one here, this is copper sulfate. This copper sulfate, we usually use this copper sulfate during or when we suspect the animals, they have foot rot. Foot rot, we use this one, and it is used for the pigs, sheep, horse, cow, goat. This copper sulfate. You mix with water, you dilute it with water. It is in powder form. I don't know if I can show you. Sorry, I will show you later. This one is in powder form. This copper sulfate. It is in powder form. You mix it with water. It should be weighed. The water should be of the same concentration. The concentration of this one, like this one, this is 500 grams. So this one, you should mix it very well with water. Yeah, they say here 1.5 teaspoonful for 300 ml bottle mixed soil. You can also use it for ringworms for 2 weeks. So copper sulfate, another thing that you should use it. So assuming you don't have the foot bath, in your farm, you can just create a smaller piece where the animal can pass in step in this water. Or when the animals they have now, okay, assuming you have foot rot in your farm due to poor cleaning, poor hygiene, there's too much mud in your bomas or in your pens, there's too much mud. The animal develop foot rot. The treatment of foot rot, you can use this. You can be washing the foot with this copper sulfate. It will dry up the wounds. So copper sulfate is another thing that you should be having it in your farm for any case. We also have another thing we call this one here. Let me say talk on this one. This one we call it oxytetracycline. This one is a wound spray. You have also victimizing. These ones are wound sprays. Okay. Assuming that in your animal they have come an emergency case where you find your animal maybe they fight each other, it is bleeding, there is a wound. Sometimes these fleas, or the rough surface where the animal are sleeping, you find the animal develops some wounds around the hip region, ribs area. You should use this spray after cleaning the area very well. And clean the area, there you can use we have cotton. You can clean the area with cotton. Yeah. The cotton, you can mix cotton, you can take a diluted solution of hydrogen peroxide, I had the bottle of hydrogen peroxide, but I think I forgot in the vehicle. So take the concentration of copper, that is hydrogen peroxide, dilute it with water. After dilution with water, that solution now, rub it with using the cotton wool and the gloves. Wear the gloves. Use cotton wool to clean the wound area. You can also use iodine. I have also iodine. You can use iodine, cleaning the wound very well. After that, you spray with this spray, be it victimizing, that is oxytetracycline, or this one we call it oxycycline. These two, we have other varieties. You spray these sprays on the wound. These are the wound sprays. Spray them on the wounds. That is after using the iodine and hydrogen peroxide. Use them. You control the wound infection of the animal if there is any case of those diseases. We have this drug we call it we call it oxycillin. This one, this drug, it is we usually use them in cases where the animal they have eye problems. You can buy this drug in your farm for in case of any emergency. You find an animal, their eyes are running. Let us call it the running eyes. There's tears in the eyes. The eyes are pink in color. You can use these drugs. These oxycycline. You have the one with the in powder form and the jelly. The small one is in jelly form. You use them to control pink eye and some cases where the animal the eyes are not very well, becoming red. You can use these drugs to will help you to clean and heal the animal's eyes and help you to reduce the cost of calling the veterinary to your farm. Another drug that you should have in your farm is the vitamin or multivitamins. These ones they're the best. You can give them to your animal at any time, either weekly. This one just boost the immunity. Sometimes after deworming your animal, you can give them multivitamin. We have different varieties or different types. You give your animal same according to the body weight. You give these drugs to the animal. Body weight and proper measuring using the syringe. You give this drug based on the weight. So you must having the weight for this drug to work properly. Weight is a very, very crucial thing when working on these drugs. So let us a bit talk about something that I had forgotten about these drugs for deworming. Drugs for deworming mostly don't don't give to animals when the animals are pregnant. Sometimes differs with the stage, but for the safer side, only administer these deworming drugs when you are sure that my animal is not in calf. Yeah? My animal is not in calf. There now you can give the deworming drugs. Because when you give the animal that is pregnant or in calf, the animal will abort. It will cause miscarriage and it will be a loss to you as a farmer. So make sure you know the program of the progress of your animal before administering any deworming drug. Also, there are some drugs, antibiotics that when you administer to an animal that is pregnant, it will abort. Under case, too much of when you don't control the ticks very well, ticks can cause a lot of problems, can lead to ECF, East Coast fever, can lead to anemia, too much sucking in the blood. The animal will be emaciated, stunted growth. So make sure you try your best to control ticks in your farm at any cost, so as to be on a safer area. Lastly, you should assuming there is some overgrown horns, you can buy a dehorning wire, a head one here. You can buy a dehorning wire. This will help you to dehorn the bit, let's say calves, that is like 3 months. It's not 3 months. A calf of 6 months, you can dehorn it using the dehorning wire because the horn, they are still young. It will be easy for you to dehorn. So I'll be available if you have any question and discussion you want to talk. We will talk and share and know best things or best style drugs that you need to be having in your farm before the arrival of the doctor. Thank you for your time. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. In case of any question, the number is at the bio. We'll talk more and discuss more and share a lot of things or a lot of information we'll be sharing. This is just a start. Next video will be discussing on the other drugs that how drugs react in the body, because some farmers, you can call a doctor to your farm, come administer drug that you don't know how this drug will work or the function of this drug. So we'll be sharing information, a drug and the purpose, so as we can be aware as farmers. A doctor can, to avoid the cases where a doctor comes to your farm, administer a wrong drug to a wrong disease. Will be here to share more about farming. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like,